Can the portrait of a killer be extracted from his own blood?
And when we actually saw that image,
Groundbreaking new DNA technology may finally pull a suspect out of hiding. But just whose face is it police are trying to unmask? And what exactly has he done?
She had no clothes on.
There was a pool of blood, and you could see drag marks.
she was in the fight for her life.
She did everything right, worked hard, loved her friends and family, and in her small town of Cliftondale, Georgia, 28-year-old Lorrie Ann Smith even served as a youth leader at her church.
Lorrie was very attached to the community, very much involved in the local church, youth activities.
Her passion was the guitar. I mean, if you look through the pictures that she had of herself, she had her guitar everywhere.
She was just a good, down-to-earth, solid person.
In fact, even though Lorrie had traveled all over the world as an international business major, the prototypical good girl had chosen to come back to rural Georgia to live close to her parents. Very close.
Where Lorrie lived had been in her family for years. Now, her parents' house was located directly behind Lorrie's house.
Her house was right next door to their house. Lorrie had her own house that she rented. So, I mean, it's not like she had to live there. She wanted to live there.
It was a decision she made to be near the people she loved. Ironically, a decision that would tear the family apart. She was only a few hundred feet away the last time Lorrie's mom spoke to her.
On May 24th, her mom called her about 9 p.m.
She says, "I'm very tired." They camped out the night before. She played the guitar till about 2:30 in the morning, came home, was already undressed, gonna get her shower and go to bed.
Sometime after that, something very bad happened in the house on the other side of the yard.
May 25th. The next morning, Lorrie's mom and dad wake up. They're getting ready to go to church. They give Lorrie a call. There was no answer at the phone.
I went and knocked on the door with no answer. And I opened the door and she was laying in a puddle of blood in the middle of the floor. The worst moment of my life.
It was a nightmare of the worst kind. I picked up the phone and I called 911.
Lieutenant Roger Peace of the Fulton County Police takes us back to the crime scene for an exclusive look at what investigators found.
We believe this door is the door that the assailant entered the home. We found blood on these steps. Also, where the screen has been cut out, that's where blood was collected.
Lorrie's parents believe the intruder may have entered using a skeleton key, though police say it's just as likely Lorrie felt safe enough to leave the door unlocked.
We found no signs of forced entry, and once he entered the door, we believe he would have encountered Lorrie.
She was fully unclothed. She was not going to open the door for anybody without clothing on. I think she was very surprised and startled.
And after that, she fought.
We could tell that there was a very significant struggle. We had lamps turned over, we had sheeting pulled off the bed. Over here we have the desk that we believe Lorrie was under at one time. We believe that because there was a pool of blood and you could see drag marks on the floor where Lorrie's body was dragged from underneath the desk.
Evidence, police say, shows Lorrie resisted until it became impossible.
She sustained abrasions on her face, contusions on both her arms and legs, as well as she sustained multiple gunshots. Lorrie fought for her life in this very room, and it was a fight that she didn't win.
But while the evidence painted a clear picture of how Lorrie died, detectives are left baffled as to why. It's not the kind of crime that happens in a town like this, and even at first glance, detectives can tell Lorrie Ann Smith did not fit anyone's normal profile for such a violent end.
She had no enemies. She was not romantically involved with anyone. She was basically considered a very low-risk person to be a victim of a violent crime.
And yet that's exactly how she ended up. But did she also leave detectives the key to finding her killer? In addition to finding bloody shoe prints for a men's size 10.5 Nike Cortez running shoe,
somewhere during this struggle, she either injured him bad enough that he was bleeding heavily, or he may have shot himself. His blood was found in the living room by the entry-exit door to the porch, the porch screen door, and on the steps leading away from the house.
it's the kind of evidence homicide detectives count themselves lucky to find. A crime scene signed with the suspect's own DNA. But first, they had to find him. And no one was expecting just how twisted that hunt would become. Coming up,
Somebody was stalking her.
the murderer's face scientifically emerges from a drop of blood.
You would have to know how to enter the house because the front door was not used. You had to enter in the back.